Hello everyone, this is the Professor, and the day has finally come, a day that I hoped had never shown up again, a day where I have to rant about the commentary community again. And it's all because over the past few weeks, so much crap has happened, so much crap has come up, that it's just irritated me personally. Now, many of you are going to say this is a pointless video and there was no reason for me to do this, but I don't give a crap. I feel like doing it, so I'm going to do it. The first thing I want to go over is favoritism within the community, because it's come up again. And this is after a time where the generations had finally died down. First generation, second generation, and third generation. It's pretty much not mentioned anymore. It's not used anymore for the most part. And I made a joke about this in my newest commentary, talking about, hey, let's just switch over to a tiered system. And the reason I said this is because two people in particular are labeled as the backbones of the community, pretty much the ones who are holding us all together because the rest of us can't do anything to support the community. And these are Youngblood and M-Skull. And mind you, I think they're fantastic commentators myself. Youngblood doesn't think he's very good at it, much like I myself think I'm not a good commentator. I don't know why you guys like the videos I make as much as you do, but hey, it's your personal preference, it's your choice. I don't think I'm that good. I really don't. But what you're doing is you're disregarding so many great commentators out there. There's people like Katera, Dark Kua Patera, however you pronounce that. I hate that, just Katera, it works. There's Fucking in My Sleep, aka MaxiPad. There's ZM Anonymous. There's Firebird 467. There's Adroitism. There's Phoenix Angel Gal. There's a lot of people out there that are great commentators that you're just bypassing completely. And I know I didn't mention everyone that I think is good, but there's a lot of them out there that you are just straight up disregarding. And to just see people come out like Adroitism, who I think is a good commentator. I enjoy his videos myself, but to see him come out and say that Youngblood Fantasy 91 and M-Skull 01 are the backbones of the community, and they're the ones supporting the community. They're the only real good ones out there. That's what I took from it. I don't understand why. And I make jokes about, oh, why aren't I ever on the list of the dick sucking? That's a joke. That's me joking around. Really, that's all it is. And he even put Pikachu OZ on there. And to tell you the truth, I don't understand why when Pikachu OZ has not made a commentary, and I don't know how freaking long, he's been months and months away from having made a commentary. Pikachu OZ really hasn't done anything in a long time, so I don't know why you even put him on there. And if anything, you might as well just put Boomstick 545, because if you want to get anywhere with Pikachu, from what I can tell, he came from Boomstick. You might as well just go back that far. And mind you, I've went back and watched a lot of Boomstick's videos, the ones I can find, and I came in late to the game, didn't see him when he was first around, but yeah, Boomstick was funny. He was. Jim 81 Jim, they were funny. But you have to remember, these are the kind of people who inspired Youngblood and Eli. These are the kind of people. If I remember correctly, M-Skull was inspired, if I remember, by Boomstick and Darkness the Curse. So you got to remember, these guys didn't just come out of nowhere and were just fantastic. They had their own inspirations. They had people who inspired them to get into commentaries. But they don't go off and talk about how these are the greatest commentators to ever exist. There's more people out there. You cannot disregard them completely and totally. And I also want to cover, and this will come up again, Sick Kirby. And this isn't just going to rant about Sick Kirby himself, because he's an 11-year-old kid. He didn't fully understand what he was doing. There are certain ways you got to handle things with children his age. You got to do things specifically with them. You got to do them in a specific way to handle them correctly. But I just want to come out and say very plainly, and this is an issue with the community, that we created the monster that is known as Sick Kirby. We created him. Mind you, I'm not one of them who can be given a hand to this, because I never subbed to the kid. I never really paid him much attention because I knew exactly what was going to happen. He was an 11-year-old kid. I knew his age and inexperience and immaturity was going to catch up to him eventually, and it did hardcore. But you got people out there, and if I remember correctly, these are two of the biggest culprits from what I can remember. If I'm wrong on this, please call me out and tell me I was wrong. Gigs and MaxiPad. If I remember correctly, when he first showed up to the scene and started making commentaries, these guys went, oh my god, he's awesome, and started sucking an 11-year-old kid's cock for being a great commentator, and labeled him as this prodigy. The future of commentaries is this child. Gave him this huge fucking ego. And the second someone came out on him, he doxed him. He went out of his way to find the guy's information. Now, if there have been people mentioning who it was, I'm not going to do it because I don't have the permission or the rights to come out and say who he is. So people who've been going around labeling and saying, oh, this is the guy who's been doxxed by Sick Kirby. You're a bunch of assholes. How about you talk to the guy first and say, hey, do you mind if I tell them that you were the one that got doxxed? Because I know you really don't want to deal with this shit anymore, but hey, I want to put it out in the open so people can ask you about it. Think about what you're doing for 5 seconds. He doesn't want his name out there as the one who got doxxed. Why do you think I'm not giving it? But this is the issue with the community. We get one commentator who seems to be halfway decent, and we immediately start sucking his cock. And we immediately just give him this huge freaking ego, which sets them down a trip that no one's going to like. And at the end of it, he's going to be not only distrusted, but disliked in the community. So not only did we create Sick Kirby to the point of being this highly celebrated commentator, but we also created him to be this commentator who now most everyone distrusts and doesn't like. This is our fault. The commentary community's fault. We created Sick Kirby. We did this by not thinking our actions through. By immediately celebrating a kid because he can make 1 or 2 good commentaries. Whoopity freaking do! Don't celebrate just because they can. You got to remember, this was an 11-year-old kid. You got to think about what you're doing with these people. Think about where they are in their own mentality, their mental maturity, and think of what your actions are going to do. You created Sick Kirby. You caused him to dox. You didn't make him physically do it, but you gave him the ego that made him dox someone. Now, I also want to go on and cover what is possibly the biggest event in the commentary community over the past few weeks. And in all seriousness, it's sad. Because it's like Joshua versus Shanana all freaking over again. We've got a handful of commentators taking up a side, and the majority of everyone else taking up another side. Just like back in the day, a handful took up Joshua's side, but most of them went to Shanana and backed her up. That would be Fluke Dog, 08. Torn Fluker. The whole issue behind him. And this one, honestly and perfectly honest with you, irritates the ever-loving crap out of me because I know I have a huge hand in the whole ordeal behind Fluke Dog. So, we had him. And before he showed up, everything was beautiful and perfect. We all hated each other, but we got along just fine. There was really no drama in the community. Then he showed up. And he started making himself look like an idiot. And he made commentaries where he made himself look like an idiot. And people made fun of him for it. Then people started trolling him. I trolled him. Through the hands of Supersonic 407 and ZM Anonymous, I trolled Fluke Dog. Which was hilarious, by the way. I loved that dramatic reading. It was awesome. I enjoyed every last minute of it. And then Realm Wars, in a fit of deciding to troll him, decided to come out and say, hey, Charles O's got your docs. And if you don't do a commentary on him, he's going to spread them around the internet. He's going to spread them everywhere. Here's the thing, people. That was trolling! Everyone who's defending Fluke Dog, and I've seen this come up a couple of times, they're like, you guys doxed him! How evil can you be? You get onto Sick Kirby for doxing people, and yet you defend Loudon for doxing Fluke Dog. Here's the difference, and I'm going to use an actual doxing event to give my basis behind this. Zeon the Hedgehog. Backstory. Realm Wars came onto Zeon the Hedgehog's channel on DA, his page on DA, and said, hey, your recolor sucks. To which Zeon said, oh, well, here's my docs. Here's my name and where I live. Which was stupid to begin with. And then Realm Wars went over to Fur Affinity, where Zeon has an account, and he said he made a fake account, Vorlover, I believe it was called, because apparently Zeon the Hedgehog is really, really big into Vor right now. He said, oh, hey, you live in the same area as I do. Can I have your phone number and your address? To which Zeon said, sure, I'm not going to question this in the least bit, just give you my information. Here's my phone number and my home address. Idiots. Here's the difference between what happened. Sick Kirby went out of his way to find the information he did. He went out on his own, and purposefully searched and dug until he found the information and started widely spreading it across Skype, giving everyone he could the information. What Realm Wars did was not go out digging. Xeon openly and freely gave him the information. He didn't have to force Xeon to do it. He didn't have to beg him to do it. He just said, first, your recolor sucks, and then the second time, oh, hey, can I have the information? Xeon freely gave it to him. Sick Kirby went out and found it. He dug, and he spread it everywhere. Realm Wars didn't spread the information out. He didn't hand it out to everyone and their mother. That's the difference. That's why we get on to Sick Kirby. And why we don't get on to Realm Wars, because he didn't go digging. It was given to him freely, and he didn't spread it around. There's the difference. And he never doxed Fluke Dog. So to bring this up in the first place is idiotic. Now, the people who are defending him the most right now are Lady Objection and Korshaw, which is pathetic to say the least bit. They get on to us for making fun of someone. And this is a huge issue in the commentary community right now, because they get on to us for making fun of Fluke Dog and for trolling Fluke Dog. When if you look at Lady Objection's videos, what does she do? She makes fun of people. That's her commentaries. Her commentaries are making fun of people. And to tell you the truth, they're not that enjoyable. When you compare them to someone like MaxiPad or Gigs, or even way back in the day to Boomstick and back to Jim81 Jim, they made fun of people. That was their commentaries. That's all they did. They were funny. I don't think Lady Objections are that funny. They kind of irritate me, to tell you the truth. But that's my personal opinion. You don't like it, shove it up your ass. I don't give a crap. But they come off and attack us for making fun of someone, which is the same thing they do. And I could pretty much promise you, had it been Sailor Moon the Red One, had it been Christian, Guptil89, Joshua, Kirby MSE, Meta522nd, or any of the other failed trolls on the internet, they would have been right behind us, cheering us along. Go get them, boys! Yeah! They'd have been doing it. But no, Fluke Dog is off limits, because he just is. I don't understand why. I don't know. I guess maybe they were friends with Fluke Dog, but he's off limits. But had it been one of these others who are widely considered fail fags, they'd have been right behind us, cheering us along, probably helping us do the trolling. Quite possibly. But no, Fluke Dog is off limits. And they say that this is drama that's destroying the community, that we, by trolling and making fun of Fluke Dog, are creating drama. Let me make this very, very, very freaking clear for you. We are not creating the drama. We are not taking the jokes seriously. You are the ones taking the jokes seriously. You are the ones attacking others for making fun of someone. You are the ones creating the drama. And that's what people need to realize. That by taking a joke seriously, by taking these jokes seriously, you're creating drama. That what you say is destroying the community. And this is a huge issue within commentaries. People who don't know how to take jokes as a joke. They gotta take them all serious. Because as you know, the internet is serious fucking business. And real quick on Precisely Rarity. I want to respond to you in a great length here, because you came onto Kristen's video. And this is where the drama really started up, was on Kristen's video, where she came after Fluke Dog for literally raping him in his imagination. You came after her, Precisely Rarity, for doing this, saying it was pointless for her to make this video. Well, I hate to tell you, she had to read through comments where he was talking about having sex with her at great lengths. And it freaked her out. And all well and good, it very well should have freaked her out. And you come after her for bringing this to the open. I don't understand this. Whenever there's a guy out there, and I'm going to use Fluke Dog as this example, because he is, going by his actions, a potential rapist and a potential pedophile. Think about it. Harley is 16 years old, and yet he still talked about how much he wants to fuck her. Giggs is like 16 years old, and he wants to fuck Giggs, and he's 20. The guy's a potential pedophile. And he's a potential rapist going by his own actions. And you don't want this brought out there? I'm sorry. I would like to know if there's someone out there who's doing this sort of shit. Yeah, it's just the internet. It's not that big a deal. Why would I even halfway want to attempt to give respect to a guy who's like this? I kind of like knowing what's going on in my own community. I kind of like knowing what's going on. Really, I do. Everyone, the biggest thing you need to take the biggest thing I need to tell every last one of you, as for the drama itself, and if you don't follow this advice, it's going to pop up again in another 6 months to a year. Just like 6 months to a year ago, we had this kind of drama. If you don't learn to fucking move on with your lives, it's going to happen again. We make fun of someone. Move on. Don't throw a shit fit about us making fun of someone. Wah. It's the commentary community. It's what we do best. We're all assholes. Every last commentator in this world is an asshole. We're all arrogant. We're all egotist. We're all the same in those aspects. If you say you're a commentator and you're not arrogant, egotistical, and an asshole, you're lying to yourself. Everyone, this is the Professor. And once again, and as always, I bid you all a very fine adieu.